Collins Street, Melbourne, and we are here with a new session of Aussizz Lodge. So today we will be covering the teaching courses, so how teaching courses leads to permanent residency in Australia. So I'm having Mr. Karan Singh. He's an educational counselor. He's working in Aussizz Group, Elizabeth branch. Hi Karan, how are you?
I'm good, yeah. Thank you for asking. Yeah, things are good.
Yeah, all good. No worries. So let's discuss with the courses. So Karan, as I described earlier, so we are going to discuss teaching courses. So what kind of teaching courses available and how it leads to permanent residency in Australia. So as everyone knows, the teachers are high in demand at the moment.
Exactly, yeah. It's
Yeah.
always in demand.
Yes,
Right.
it is. So, Karan, let's start with the courses first of all. So, what type of course is available to become a teacher in Australia?
Sure, for at higher level we have got a bachelor's, then we have got a graduate diploma, otherwise we have got a master's, and there are three fields: primary, early childhood, and then you've got a secondary education. So yeah, it's a wide scope, and yeah, they've got a lot of options in it.
In it, perfect. So, which one is in high demand? So, let's say how many admissions people are taking in which kind of course?
I would say it is more about their interest, but most of the students are inclined towards early childhood or primary. But you can tell me more better which is in the PR. So
Yeah.
that's the
No, no.
difference. Yeah.
Yeah, I will explain definitely which one is in PR. Which has the highest scope in permanent residency,
Yeah.
which leads to permanent. But the when it comes to students' choice, so which course they just want to take? Let's say early childhood, primary education, or secondary school teacher education.
They're more inclined to early childhood. Yes, that's where they love staying with the kids and going ahead with everything. So yeah, early childhood is the most popular, where most of the student wants
Yep.
to do early childhood.
Oh, okay, perfect. That's good.
Yes.
So now let's discuss about the entry pathways. As you described, there are bachelor's, master's, and graduate diplomas available in teaching field.
Yeah.
So could you please explain, so what are the entry requirements for all of the courses? Let's discuss first of all bachelor's.
Okay. For bachelor's, where there are total three fields. So one is secondary. So if you go for secondary, the requirements are between 7 to 7.5, where we focus more on the 7.5 in the learning and the speaking
Yep.
module. If you go for bachelor's of early childhood, so it is more of something like 6.5, no but less than 6 if it's a PT or an ALS. That's what you're looking at. And yeah, if you, the next one is primary, so nearby 7. So I would say 7 is more of a requirement, 7.5, no but less than 7, or 2 modules cover 7.5. So yeah.
Okay.
And the other pathways are graduate diploma of early childhood. That's the most popular one because it leads to a master's of education. And the entry requirements are usually they've got a one module 7.5, and it has to be, you can say, not less than a 7, or you've got a 6.5 as the minimum band. Yeah, in masters also it's usually 7.5, no band less than 7, and again 7.5 is required in you can say listening and speaking.
All right, that's good. So see, guys, we are talking about IELTS and PT here, just the entry requirements to do the course. Again, there is a disclaimer. Some people, take it a wrong way that PT is acceptable for skill assessment. Skill assessment is the, piece of document that require for permanent residency. So the skill assessing authority, AITSL, they are not accepting PTE. PT is acceptable only and only for admission purposes. So that's why he just mentioned IELTS or PTE equivalent. All right, keep in mind, please. All right.
Yeah.
So Karan, very good discussion on these courses, and you have explained very well. So what are the entry requirements? So any other requirements that you just want to describe? Sometimes there kinds of tests are also that you have to sit in. All right. Any other requirements? Specifically, universities are looking for some sort of background checks, police checks, all those things. So any other requirements that also need to be fulfilled to get admission in this course?
Sure, Jagdeep. Thank you for asking. So,
Yeah.
if we go for more other requirements, so Casper test, most of the university want Casper test
Oh, okay.
as an entry requirement. You have to have given the test before the course starts. So, if
All
it's a
right.
February intake, so you
Mm-hmm.
have to give the test before that.
Hmm.
And then only they can accept. There are different universities. Very less university accept without a Casper test.
Hmm.
And if you go for other requirements, they have got more of a thing where it is like you have to have a working with children check.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you have got a vaccination proof.
Hmm.
So those things also come in handy. You have to have them ready before going ahead
Yeah.
with the course start. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So guys, I just want to make it clear here. See, the working with children check is also there because these courses are specifically based on theoretical and practical, prospects. So you have to work with children. You have to go to the schools and do your placements. So that's why the working with children's are most important piece of documents that you have to provide. All right. So, Karan, let's discuss about are these courses available outside of Melbourne?
yes, certainly they are available in Geelong area. You've got at the campus and everything in Ballarat for different universities.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
so yeah, they have got a regional campuses and it's available in all the states. So there are so many states which are in regional areas which are covered. So yeah, it is in all the states, all the specializations.
All right, all right. So yes, guys. So this course is available outside of Melbourne. Let's say in regions as he mentioned, in Geelong, in Ballarat areas as well as if you want to move interstate and do this course. This course is available in Western Australia, South Australia, Tasmania, and other states as well. So it's good. So we have options. So pretty
Yes.
much, pretty much every university and or top universities are offering these courses, isn't it?
Exactly. There are some small providers also,
Okay.
but it's a popular course, so it's pretty much in demand.
Ah,
Yes,
cool.
Jagdeep.
That's good. All right. So next question, everyone is sometimes asking, what is the duration of the course? Let's take an example of bachelor's. So how long it will take to complete bachelor's level of course in this field?
For a bachelor's, if you go for different specializations, we have got its ranges from 3 to 4 years, but 4 years is more of a thing which really helps in the skill assessment.
Yep.
So yeah, so 4 years is for bachelor's. A graduate diploma in early childhood is usually just 1 year,
1 year. Yeah.
and if you go for masters, they are for 2 years.
Ah, okay, perfect. That's good. So, guys, it is available in three set of qualification levels, AQF levels, Australian qualification framework. So it is available in bachelor's. So it will totally takes up to 4 years to complete this course if you want to do the bachelor's. If you want to do the graduate diploma, then it is available for 1 year, and the duration will be 1 year for graduate diploma. The master's course is available as well, and it is the total duration for masters is 2 years. So let's take an example. So sometimes people are asking, can we do this courses online or not? Or not? They are usually asking for mode of study. So is that online, or they have to attend university classes?
Sure. As these courses have got work placements, so there are certain numbers or certain days of placements
Yeah.
that have to be taken care. So it's more theory and practical
Yep.
based
Yep.
where they really place you. But if you're on a TR visa, which is 485, or maybe any other visa called maybe 408, but on TR they usually ask that you can attend the theory classes online, but for placements you have to go to the childcare centers or different places
Yep.
to get placed, and then only things work out, because without the working components
Yeah.
or practical,
Yeah.
the course cannot be completed.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So basically, if you're looking for online learning, then there are specific courses, let's say graduate diploma, as he mentioned. So you can do some sort of components online, but you have to do, as well as you have to do the placements. So practical is also there. So you have to attend placements, you have to visit to schools, childcare centers to complete your placements. So because that is also part of the course.
Yeah.
So yes. So Karan, I think so. These are the pretty much questions. Then, when it comes to courses, when people come to us and they just asking, so yes, what kind of courses are available? And I think so. We have pretty much covered. It is available in bachelor's, in master's, in graduate diploma as well.
Yes.
And on the other hand, so whether these courses are available online or we have to visit, universities or we have to attend universities classes. Yes, you have to do it. Pretty much, we have covered that one. So,
Yeah.
Karan, have you come across any other questions in prospect to migration so that you want to ask from me? So you can go ahead and do it.
For sure, yeah. It is like more of a course which is more into PR
PR,
and everything.
yeah,
So we have got so many questions.
yeah,
I would like to ask you, Jagdeep, what are the PR pathways for a teacher? If you can please tell our audience
sure.
what are the PR pathways for a teacher, please?
Sure. See, guys, PR pathways, when we are talking about pathways, so the best suitable pathway is general skill migration. So, general skill migration contains three kinds of visas: 189, 190, and 491. So, when it comes to all these visas, they are linked to the occupation list. All right. So, let's say if your occupation is falls under medium to long term skill strategic list, then it means you can apply any of these visas if you get invited. All right. So basically, we have two occupations, the high demand occupations called early childhood pre-primary school teacher, and
Okay.
the second one is secondary school teacher.
Secondary.
So
Okay.
these two occupations falls under MTLSSL, all right,
Okay.
medium to long term list, all right. So basically, if your occupations fall under that list, that it means you can apply for all of those visas. You are eligible to submit an EOI and apply for the visas if you get invited.
Oh, great.
On the other hand, we have other occupation called primary school teachers, all right. So primary school teachers basically is falls under short term list, STSOL, all right. So you will be having just limited options. Let's say we can say 190 and 491. So
Okay.
state sponsored visas basically you can apply with this occupation
All right.
specifically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So these are the pathways as I explained. So you can apply for journal skill migration straight away if you have the skills assessment. All right. So this is the highest high in demand or the most famous pathway that people are choosing who have done these kind of courses.
Sure, sure, Jagdeep. I would like to ask, so the way you have already told us about the occupations available for PR, do you
Yeah.
want to throw some more light on that, or the occupations are all covered? Like, what are the
Yeah.
different occupations available?
So I can elaborate further. So
Please.
basically, early childhood pre-primary school teachers are basically teachers who are giving their services to the children, the small children, kids before school or up to class 3 or 4.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So primary school teachers basically starts from school level from year 1 to year 6 or 7. All right. Secondary school teachers. So secondary school teachers are teachers who are just providing their services to the children aged or year 7 or more. So let's say 8 to 12 year.
Okay.
All right.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the three occupations which are pretty famous, and if you fall under any one of them, then you are eligible to apply for a EOI, and if you get invited, you can apply the visa and you can be a permanent resident of Australia.
Sure. Oh, that's beautifully explained, Jagdeep. Thank
Yep.
you so much for that.
Right.
If you can please tell, like, what's the assessing body? If you can talk more about the
Yep.
assessing body.
Yes. See, assessment body, first of all, the assessment body or assessment authority is authority who are assessing your skills. So as I explained earlier, to apply for any kind of journal skill migration visas, you must obtain skills assessment to apply for those visas, to be eligible to apply for those visas, all right? So that is the basic requirement when it comes to journal skill migration
Okay.
visas, all right?
Great. Great.
So to get the skills assessment, every occupation has their skill assessing body,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So if we are talking about teachers today, so for the teachers we have AITSL, okay,
Sure.
that is the body who
Yeah.
are assessing your qualifications and your experience as well.
Okay.
Right? So basically, the skill assessing body gives you a letter that you have to provide to the department, and that letter contains the information regarding your education, okay, and your experience, whether you are suitable to migrate to Australia or not.
Okay.
All right. So the skill assessing body for teachers is AITSL.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Yep.
answer, which is explained very beautifully.
Yep.
I would like to ask you, what are the entry requirements, or in a way, if you have to get your skill assessed as a teacher, how much score or what are the entry requirements? If we can talk more about that, please.
Yeah, sure. Karan, when it comes to skill assessment, so there is confusion in everyone's mind. So some people thinking that they have done their masters in education or bachelors in education from our overseas, they can get their skill assessment. Yes, they can. There are pathways,
Yeah.
but we have to specifically meet the certain criteria first of all, right? So the first one is educational.
Yeah.
Educational or qualificational criteria, number one. The second one is English criteria. All
Yes.
right. So educational and qualification criteria is, so what AITSL says, if you want to become a teacher, even though early childhood teacher, primary school teacher, or secondary school teacher,
Yeah.
all right, so you have to first of all meet the qualification criteria.
Sure.
So what their criteria is, you must have completed 4 years of higher education, which
Yeah.
is equivalent to AQF level 7 or higher. So
Yeah.
when it comes to AQF level, so current AQF level, as you know, because you are an education counselor, so that
Yeah.
is Australian qualification framework.
Yes.
All right. So AQF level 7 means minimum bachelor's. All right.
Yeah.
So you must have complete university level of qualifications,
Yeah.
which has to be 4 years. All right.
Yeah.
In that 4 years, you must have complete 1 year of initial teacher education training, ITE.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say if someone has done bachelor's in commerce and they have done bachelor's in education for a year, so it means they have completed 1 year of ITE. All right.
Yeah.
So initial teacher training. All right.
Yes.
Initial teacher education. But the main peak here is, in those 4 years, the 1 year of ITE that you have completed, you must have done 45 days of placements.
Yes. Right.
That's why the overseas qualifications sometimes they are not considering, because in overseas sometimes most of the universities they are not giving you the 45 days of placements.
Yeah.
So in Australia, if you have done that, so you have to do it. So that is the basic requirement. That's why if you have done any qualification related to teaching, okay, even though bachelor's or master's of specifically in teaching, all right,
Yeah.
so you have to do the placements. So
Right.
you are just meeting that criteria number 1, if you have done the
Yeah, I would just like to tell the audience that that's why a graduate diploma for early childhood is very popular.
Popular, yeah.
Like if you have done anything for 3 years, but it's not related to teaching,
Yeah.
and to open their peer pathways, a graduate diploma for early childhood, people do it for 1 year.
Yeah.
But end of the day, after completion, the way Jagdeep has thrown more light on that, that you have to get a 7.788,
Yeah.
no PT, just IELTS to get your skill assessment.
Yeah.
That's why most of the people, if a bachelor's in any field is available for 3 years,
Yeah.
they have to do 1 year also.
Also, yes.
Yeah, but if you go for that 1 year, it cannot be a graduate diploma of early childhood, because the graduate diploma of early childhood is for people who don't have a background.
Background. Yes, correct.
Yeah, so they can even do a graduate diploma of
right.
management at a higher level is always preferred.
Yeah.
So it's better to do a graduate diploma of management
Yeah.
or a graduate diploma of business, so that you can complete your 4 years
4
of
years
study.
of studies. Yes.
Yeah, 4 years of study is anyways required, but before that, if you've got that 1 year,
Yeah,
then
that's-
7.788 is the mandatory
Yes.
thing.
Yeah. So that is the criteria 1 that I was describing. So criteria 1 is the educational qualifications. All right.
Yeah.
Educational qualifications means 4 years of higher education. In those 4 years, 1 year of initial teacher education. All right. At least you have studied 1 year of initial teacher education. On the other hand, the second criteria is English language test.
Yeah.
So English language test, the AITSL specifically describe that. So you must have to meet the English language requirement
Yeah.
as well. So which is the criteria 2.
Yeah.
So even you sit in an IELTS exam, okay, and achieve 8.778, means 8 in listening, 7 in reading, 7 in writing, 8 in speaking. Specifically in these modules, you have to achieve these scores, all right? Or you have completed 4 years of higher education in Australia.
Yeah.
So you can be exempt All right, so that's why we have a people come to us and they have done bachelor's in IT, bachelor's in other area, let's say bachelor's in accounting. So we are suggesting them you can do graduate diploma
Yeah,
of early childhood for a year.
exactly.
So in that way you will be covering both of the requirements.
Yeah,
The first requirement, qualification,
yeah,
you just stick that, and the second requirement is English language test. If you can't achieve IELTS 8778, then
yeah.
you can easily do your skills assessment, because you are completing 4 years of higher education qualifications in Australia.
Exactly, yeah. It's a very popular course right now.
Yeah.
Every next student wants to do it, and I would say the cherry on the cake is if you're on TR, then you can just do it online, but you have to get the placements done.
Done, yes.
We've got people from all the states
Hmm.
coming in because this graduate diploma for early childhood is available. You can say Victoria, in Sydney, or you have got a Gold Coast, but people can do it online from any states.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing, and these university can even find you placements in that state.
Hmm.
You can find it yourself, the way Mr. Jagdeep has mentioned about 45 days of
Yep.
placements.
Placements, yes.
Yeah, so if you
Correct.
can't find it, the university will help you with that in your state. You don't have to just come to Victoria or Sydney to do that course.
Hmm.
You can do it from anywhere, and different universities help you with that.
Yes. So guys, always we are getting the questions, with the you have done bachelor's of education from offshore, BEd that we are calling it, or masters of education from offshore, we are calling it MEd. So please keep in mind you can get your skill assessment done for your offshore qualifications as long as you have completed 45 days of the placements. So when it comes to the placements, how you can how you can show that, or how you're going to provide the evidence that you have completed 45 days of placements. So you can do so by providing a letter from your university, not from your college. Please keep in mind they are not accepting college letters, all right, from your institutions. They are accepting official letterhead from your university stating that you have completed 45 days of training, and that letter all must describe the settings, school settings. Let's say if you have done your 45 days of training from primary schools or secondary schools or even childcares or kindergartens, okay, you have your university has to describe that on a letter, then they are accepting this letter. All right, otherwise you can't get your qualifications assessed or your skills assessments done based on your overseas qualifications. So that is the lacking point, mostly candidates failing here, so they are not able to produce the documents required by the AITSL.
Yeah.
Yep. So next question, Karan, if you have any.
Yeah, sure. I would like to ask you what are the recent invites, or you can please tell how many points the recent invites are, like the recent applicants have been invited, please.
Sure. So Karan, when it comes to invites, so the recent invites to teachers that we have seen is in May 2023.
Okay.
So we haven't seen any kind of invites afterwards, 189. So basically 190 and 491 invites we have seen, but not for teachers as many
Okay.
as it was predicted before,
Yeah.
but it was not. So I don't know what states are doing. So hopefully they are just looking at the Department of Home Affairs, whether they're gonna invite candidates for 189,
Yeah.
right? So last invitation round happened in May 2023. All right, and the invitations given to teachers at 65 points.
Oh wow, that's
The
really
minimum
less.
points,
Yeah.
65 points.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's the entry requirement just to launch
Yeah.
any of those visas.
Visas.
Tell us that.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
So
great.
65 points early childhood pre-primary school teachers. All right, 65 points for secondary school teachers. So
Okay.
that what we have seen in the past.
Yeah.
So we are hoping that there are rumors, or not rumors, we can say, even though the Migration Institute of Australia has also said that the immigration department may conduct a 189 invitation round in December, or maybe before Christmas.
Before Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, the Christmas present's gonna be here, I think so, from the department.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much. I think so. We have covered. Anything else that you want to ask in prospect to migration pathways or PR pathways?
Sure. Most of our students who come here from overseas, they would like to ask which state do you prefer? Which state is better for them to study?
Study. See, when it comes to state, if your occupation is in a high in demand, you can get permanent residency anywhere, first of all right?
Okay.
So it doesn't matter which state. So any state, as long as you are fulfilling the requirement, is good for you. Right? When it comes to Victoria, Victoria is also a very good state. You know, when it comes to New South Wales, they have their own specific requirements. It is also good for that.
Yeah.
So I am not choosy, but at the moment I can say Western Australia is going pretty far good as compared to other, other states. Right?
Okay.
They are inviting candidates, even though they are inviting equal number of candidates in every occupation. They are inviting candidates who have studied there. They are prioritizing invitations for those candidates who have studied in Western Australia.
Oh,
So
yes.
yeah, it is pretty good state at the moment. Okay. So, but when it comes to all occupations which are high in demand, let's say healthcare occupations, teaching occupations,
Yeah.
all right, other occupations related to construction, building. So every state is pretty good, right,
Okay.
as long as you are meeting the minimum criteria, minimum requirements of that state.
Oh,
to get
great.
invited. Yeah.
Do you want to tell which you can specialization a student should go for teachers, like early childhood, primary, or secondary? Which one is the more popular one
See,
according to the PR?
yeah, see, what we have seen is people are getting invites for early childhood teaching as well, as well as secondary school teaching as well. Alright?
Yes.
So both of the occupations are high in demand,
Yeah.
and as I explained before, it is in a medium to long term strategic list.
Yeah.
Alright? So you can apply either 189, 190, 1491, any of the visas. Alright. Why I am not recommending primary school teachers, because that is on short-term skill occupation list, STSOL. All right, so we have only 190 and 491 options available. That's why.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
let's say if in immigration department or Department of Home Affairs, we can say, is invited candidates at 65 points for early childhood teachers and secondary school teachers, then it is good.
Yeah.
So you can get invited as little as 65 points. So
Oh,
that's
great.
why I am always recommending these two occupations or these two courses.
Oh, yeah. No.
So Karan, there is one more question that people is keep asking from us.
Yeah.
So we have done Masters of Education.
Yeah.
Why we can't assess our qualifications? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, this is more because you have not done those placement hours.
That's it.
You have to get those 45 days of placement hours.
Yeah.
If it's not there, and that's usually not included in Masters of Education,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, whatever 45 days you do, it is very much specialized. If it's early childhood, it has to be in a daycare or childcare, primary, secondary. That's why it goes that way.
Yeah, yeah. So see, guys, it is pretty much clear. If you have done Masters of Education, I'm specifically saying Masters of Education or any kind of education course or teaching related course, even though Masters of Teaching, let's say, if that course does not have a 45 days, minimum 45 days of placement component, then you are not eligible to assess your qualifications because you haven't done those placement. That is the basic requirement for any kind of occupation in teaching. Okay,
Yeah.
you must have to do 45 days of placements. So some people saying we have done bachelor's in education, that is 4 years, and we get our skills assessment done.
Yeah.
Why? Because you have done those
The
45 days of placements.
Exactly.
Because in bachelor's you have to do the placements, and when it comes to placements, even though you have done bachelor's of education, the universities have designed the course where there is a minimum 45 days of placements is
Yes.
available in bachelor's course specifically. All right. So
Yeah.
that is the main confusion in between when people just selecting the course, or someone has done bachelor's in education, got their skills assessment, but I have done masters in education, why I'm not eligible for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So that's the main reason. So you have
Yeah.
pretty much clear all those doubts the people have.
Yeah, you have definitely given an insight into it, whatever questions were there, and it
Yeah.
is never missed kind.
Yeah.
So the way Mr. Jagdeep, our migration agent, told you guys, and he has tried clearing everything. But yeah, we are based in the city. He sits in Collins Street branch. On Collins Street, I'm just opposite Flinders East Station, or Elizabeth Street. I head the team there, the education team, at Elizabeth Street. So, but we've got our offices in every state,
Stay, yes.
and it's in different
Suburbs as well.
locations, suburbs. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
feel free to get in touch, and we
yeah,
can just help you out.
yeah.
For that, it would be great because this is a more popular course. But the way he has highlighted main two
Yeah.
things, the first is 45 days of placements,
Mm.
and to get a skill assessment done, 7788 in IELTS specifically.
Or
Yeah,
or 4 years
4
of
years.
higher education in Australia. In
Yeah,
Australia specifically, people are saying, "Oh, we have done bachelor's outside and we have done masters, so we have already
yeah,
completed 4 years or 5 years of higher education." No, that has to be in Australia. Keep in mind, please. Right?
higher level. Yes.
Yes. So I think so. Pretty much we have clear all the doubts that you guys have in regards to these occupations related to teachings. And if you guys still have any kind of questions, you can meet and visit our Elizabeth branch in Melbourne
Yeah,
and meet Mr. Karan. Or if you have any PR regarding queries, you can visit us as well here in Melbourne, Collins Street branch. We have a 3 registered migration agents here, myself, Mr. Kamaljeet Singh, and Mr. Diljan Singh. So guys, I think so we have all, pretty much covered everything. And if you have any other further questions, you can visit us. And please don't forget, we have other uh, products available: PT tutorials, IELTS tutorials, CCL tutorials, and we have Get My Policy app as well, or website as well. If you think that your uh, insurance provider is charging you more, all right, you can come to visit Get My Policy. Come here, compare your your installments that you are paying more to your current provider, and you can change it. All right, and we have an app called Aussizz where you can download the app. All right, with the help of that app, you can search for any kind of occupation and specific requirements. So what are the requirements for the skills assessment, and authorities who are doing those skills assessment.
yeah.
So guys, see you next week with the same topics related to PR pathways. And on your doubts, if you have any kind of doubts, so see you next week, same time with Aussizz. Thank you.